principal says that we're not normal. We wear different clothes and we have different pronouns. Everyone is normal. There's nothing that isn't normal about us.
What the fuck?
Trying to put you to bed, man.
What the hell, man?
What's the problem?
What you mean it's a problem, dog? You just kissed me on my neck.
Yeah, that's what you wanted, right?
Why the hell would I want that, Clay?
Yo, you put it out there with the food and the wine and all that.
I'm serving lasagna, not ass.
Yo, you sure could fool me talking about you want to get your toes sucked on and all that.
By a broad, Clay, not a big burly ass dude.
So you're not gay?
What part of this are you not getting, Clay?
Yo, you ain't gonna tell nobody, right?
Who the hell am I gonna tell?
I went off for your vibe, man, how you was moving with it and everything.
What? Man, get your ass out of my house, boy. Get your ass out of my house, Clay.
I feel like being an ally is more than just saying that I support, but it's also kind of showing up. Obviously, being in the NFL is very, male dominant and heterosexual dominant, and it's not really, feels as if there's not really a space for the LGBTQ community, but with just working with organizations like with the GLAAD Media Awards and also the NFL Pride football combine or football clinic that they had during the Super Bowl week, I was actually able to go out there and kind of get to talk to some of the people that were participating in it, and it was great conversations. Who feel like they have to be hidden, although they might love the sport. They might love the NFL, might love football in general as a sport, but they kind of shy away from it just because of orientations or all of these other kind of outside things, and that's kind of why that's kind of my goal. And I actually started up an organization on my foundation, Original Element Foundation. And that's kind of my pillars, is just inclusivity, bringing everybody together with through the power of football. And, kind of one of my events that I hold every year with that organization is to my football combine, where I'm going to be actually having one of the first LGBTQ friendly football combine camp type of things, just day of play in general, just to get kids out. And that's my goal, is just to, continue to spread positive energy around that. And, because football is for everybody, and football is for all. I think that we're getting closer to that in general as a society, but I'm just trying to do my part. I feel like being an
Jesus. Maybe somebody who was more informed can help me out in the comments in understanding what the fuck Khalil Saunders is talking about. What is this dude talking about, y'all? I do not understand. For a community, and I'm talking about the LGBTQ community, for a community that wants to be so widely accepted and just considered normal by everybody else, they sure do find themselves in the spotlight trying to stand out a hell of a lot. Don't you think? For a community that wants to be widely accepted by everyone, they just want to be like everybody else is what they say. They just want to be treated like everybody else is what they say. For a community that wants what they believe in sexually to be normalized, they sure do make all these efforts to stand out. Because you don't see a black organization saying, "Oh, let's make a black only football organization because we're not represented enough. Let's make a white only football organization because we're not represented enough." Maybe I'm off. Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out. If you want it to be considered normal, if you want it to be considered just like everybody else, then why not just apply in the NFL like everybody else does? It doesn't matter. They don't ask you your sexuality when you apply for the NFL. They don't care. That's never been a requirement to join the league. I'm pretty sure there's tons of gay people in the NFL. Nobody cares. Then he's talking about he's holding a special event. Oh, I'm going to hold a special event, and this is going to be a special event for all of the kids, for the LGBTQ community that want to come together. Okay, what's the difference of them just playing a regular football game? What they going to be doing, grabbing ass? What's the difference? Yo, man, listen. I think people like this are fucking terrible they're terrible for the world. They're terrible for the community. These enablers. Because as much as y'all say y'all want to be normal, they sit up here on these platforms and then they take money and they take the people's money and then they pump this shit into goofy ass situations or organizations like this. This fool is sitting up here talking about he's gonna hold an LGBTQ youth football camp. Youth. So now we're pushing this shit on to the youth. Now it's a whole agenda. It's an entire agenda. And nobody sees anything wrong with this. Nobody sees anything wrong with pushing sexuality onto the youth. Nobody does this with heterosexuality. We don't come out here and say, oh, if you want to play football, you got to be a heterosexual. This is for straight people only. Nobody says that. If you're good, you're good. In sports, if you can play the game, whether it's football, basketball, soccer, or baseball, if you're good enough to get into the league, then guess what? You're good enough to get into the league. I'm pretty sure there are members of the LGBTQ community in sports everywhere. Whether they announce it publicly or not, maybe they don't want to. Why do we have to normalize announcing what your sexual preference is? Why do we have to announce that? Why do we have to normalize that? And this is the fundamental thing that y'all can never answer. The people that support this can never answer. They can never answer it. Because on one hand, they're walking around and they run around talking about, we just want to feel normal. Well, then shut the fuck up. If you want to feel normal, shut the fuck. I don't run around everywhere to shouting out, I'm a heterosexual. I'm a heterosexual. I'm a heterosexual. Nobody else does this but the LGBTQ community. It's fucking pathetic. It's pathetic. Let's read this stupid ass article, man. NFL star Khalil Saunders is taking his alliance with the LGBTQ community to another level. He is planning on hosting a youth football camp that is LGBTQ friendly. What the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? What does that mean? While on Good Morning Football, Saunders explained he felt the camp was necessary because being an ally goes deeper than just saying it. Why do you need to be an ally? Why do you need to be an ally? Why does anyone need to be an ally? I don't ask for heterosexual allies when I'm out here applying for jobs or trying to get a career field started, or I'm trying to jump and move career fields and jump into something different. I'm not looking for allies when I apply and fill out my resume to apply for a job. Nowhere on there do they have a section for sexual preference. But now we're supposed to have one in the NFL. All right. It's fucking ridiculous. He believes that football should be confined to just heterosexual males. I'm assuming that means they meant to put shouldn't be confined to just heterosexual males. So he wants to make sure that people of all sexual orientations feel free to participate in the sport. Let me ask y'all a question, yo. Why wouldn't anyone who is a part of the rainbow community, of the Rainbow Coalition, why would they not feel accepted? Why would they not feel that they can come to the NFL or any other sport for that matter and apply and compete just like everyone else? In other words, what are you doing to stand out so much to where people see you as soon as you walk through the door and be like, oh, that person's a member of the LGBTQ community. We don't want them playing with us. What are you doing to shine that type of light on you? Because if you're not doing anything to shine that type of light on you and you're just carrying on about your day and your life like a normal person would, the thing that y'all all say you want, normal, if you're just walking around acting normal like everybody else, no one would know the difference. No one would know what your sexual preference was. You actually have to divulge that information and put it out there in front of the people in order for us to know. So again, how are these people feeling alienated from the sport? Unless they are doing something to purposely make it known what their sexual preference is, which is fucking weird in the first place, because nobody cares. It's weird. It's weird to go around yelling and always having to wear the rainbows on your chest and put it out there so that everybody knows. Nobody gives a fuck. How about you just go on and apply like everyone else does? How about you apply for the combine like everybody else does? How about you go and just apply yourself in the NBA like everybody else does? And you compete like everybody else does. Nobody is going to ask you, oh, by the way, are you, do you like rainbows? Are you a member of the rainbow community? Nobody gives a fuck about that. You all do. You all do. Y'all want a special light shined on y'all. And that's the fucking problem. That's the problem. Y'all want special treatment. That's the problem. Being an ally is more than just saying I support, but it's also showing up, Saunders said. What a fucking idiot. Being in the NFL is very male dominant. And why would it not be male dominant? It's the NFL. Why would it? What? Jesus Christ, yo. I'm losing brain cells. I'm losing fucking brain cells reading this. I can feel it. I can feel it. Why would the NFL not be male dominant? It's a male dominated sport run by males, competed in by males, with males against other males. That's a stupid ass statement. Anyway, being in the NFL is very male dominant and heterosexual dominant, and it feels as though there's not really a space for the LGBTQ community. Yo, what does that even mean, that it's a heterosexual dominant? What does that mean, that it's heterosexual dominant? What does that mean? Can somebody define that for me? Can someone define what that means? How would he know? How would he know? It could be 30 members of the LGBTQ community on the team. How would he ever know? Unless they go around parading it in front of everybody. How would he ever know? These are people who feel like they have to be hidden. Although they might love the sport, they might love the NFL, they might love football in general as a sport, but they kind of shy away from it just because of orientations or all these other kinds of outside things. He said a bunch of fucking nothing, a bunch of word salad. No, they shy away from it because they're fucking pussy. That's why. And obviously not literally. They shy away from it because they're scared as fuck. They shy away from it because of their own insecurities. Nobody is making them do that. That's a problem they need to take up and look within and figure out, how do I get beyond my own insecurities so that I can play and compete in the sport that I love? That's a problem that they got to figure out how to do. And if your answer is, well, he's doing this so that they can help, they can feel better about themselves. They can feel more comfortable competing in a LGBTQ community with a rainbow flag attached to the NFL. That's why he's doing this, so they'll feel better. And that's the fucking problem, ain't it? Because the problem is, because that just, all that says to me is, as much as y'all want everybody else to accept y'all as normal, you yourselves don't even feel normal. And that's the problem. That's the problem. You yourselves don't feel normal. You yourselves need some type of special beacon in the sky so that you can show up to the combine and compete alongside everybody else. You know why? Because you don't feel normal. So you need somebody like this fool to come out and stand on the national stage and on television everywhere and media everywhere and tell you, hey, I'm shining the LGBTQ rainbow light. If anybody wants to, hey, I'm a friendly. This shit is dumb as hell, yo. And y'all are fucking stupid. What a fucking idiot. And then let's not even the main point of it. The main point of it, he's pushing this on the youth community. Why does this need to be a part of our youth? Why do our little children everywhere and kids everywhere need to be a part of this, or need to even be aware of this, or participate in this bullshit? Why can't we just have them participate wherever they are? What does it matter? What does it matter? So now you're asking us to, let's make this front and center for the youth. Let's put the youth out there so that they can see. Let's parade this shit around. Let's commercialize this shit for the youth, for our young people. Are you fucking kidding me? And nobody sees a problem with this bullshit. Not the NFL, not nobody. All right. Y'all got it. I'm done. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think or not. If you, whatever. I'll see y'all on the next one. Later.